Hi, it's Sam here and I'm back in zone for another back day. I'm going to start with the pull downs, each arm working separately as it's back, always with the wrist straps to lift as much as possible. I'm going to make it a heavy day today. I'm going to cover most of the pull down and high rowing stuff first, and then a little bit of cable rowing and see what I've got left. So stay with it for a complete back workout, and if you like the channel, please subscribe or share it with your friends. And I'll take any comments in the section below. If you want to contact me directly, it's @PhysiquePhilosopher on Instagram. Bear with me while I get loaded up and then let's go. Okay, I'm all loaded up now. I've got 5 plates each side on this, so that's 200 kilos plus whatever the mechanism weighs. But with the leverage on it, it's not as heavy as it looks. You look at the shape of the machine and the leverage of it, you can lift heavy on here for sure. So I get wrist straps working for me first and then sit in the chair, obviously with my hands then stuck on. I have to get the knee pad and shuffle it down with my knees without using my hands, which I've got used to gradually. I'm doing this and set one, ready to go. Good. So that went pretty nicely. I'm going to add a little bit extra. So I'm going to put another 10 on each side. And that is pretty much all this thing is going to hold. So hopefully it won't tip off because it's right on the edge of the pins here. And this will be the second set, but depending on how this goes, I'll decide whether I'm going to lower it again and do more sets or stick with this for one more set. Just sort of concerned that those weights might drop off, but there's not room on there to put a clamp on the end to keep it on, so I've no real option really, just to see how it goes. I've been really enjoying this exercise, and as you'll have seen from the channel, it's been a while since I've done this one first, being focused more on rowing lately, so to switch it back and be doing the pull downs first, it's satisfying to be hauling a little bit more weight. I think it's going to be that kind of session where it's a little bit more exercises that are focused on the lats. Maybe I'll finish with weight assisted pull-ups or a lighter pull down just as a finisher at the very end of this workout, but I can certainly manage another set with 5.5 plates each side on this. And then I think for the last set I'll take it down and get a little bit higher quality reps before moving on, because I am yanking it a bit here. You can sort of feel that without even watching it back on the video. Okay, set 3. Let's take it down for one more set here. Last one here. So next up I'm going to tackle the cable rows, and the machine in zone for cable rolling is proper naughty. Whereas I'd normally use the full stack on most of the standard machines elsewhere, here I got it on number 22. I'm not sure what that represents, but it's about 3/4 of the way down, and that is like brutally heavy for me. And there's a guy who trains here called Christmas, who's one of the best bodybuilders ever. And I heard that he broke the cable on this thing by putting the full stack on here. I'm not at that level yet. But I like to think I'm heading in the right direction because I'm training hard very consistently, as you can see. So I'm all strapped in first. I'll go for second. I can handle a little bit more. I'll show you. What we got there? Got to 25. Okay, number 25, set 2, let's go. Oh, that's brutal. Okay, that felt super heavy on that last set, so I'm going to stick with the same weight when I get my breath back, but make it the last set. Here we go. For my next exercise, I'm going to improvise a little bit because the high row is occupied and I don't want to be switching the weights around continually. I want that kind of diagonal angle, so what I'm going to do is take the lat pull down thing and just lean back into it a little bit more. And it's going to take maybe a set or two to determine what weight is appropriate for me on this, but it's just a way of improvising that same kind of angle that I would have had on the high row. So I'll get all strapped in and go for set 1, starting fairly moderate, and I can adjust from there weight-wise. Take it up a touch. I have a few general guidelines for training back, in addition to having the wrist straps every time. Generally, wider grip and a pronated grip on the majority of my exercises, as I feel that minimises the role of the biceps, which, apart from straight arm pull downs and back hyperextensions, there's elbow flexion coming into pretty much every other back exercise. And we can take that out a little bit, or at least take out the role of the biceps in all of those exercises that are compounds, leaving more of the stress on the back by having the wider grip and hands pronated. That's my theory anyway. But it's working okay for me. I'd say out of everything that I do bodybuilding wise, it's the back that's been the most successful for me, and those are just a few of my other principles, so maybe bear that in mind. So with this exercise, I'm improvising a little bit to do this instead of a high row. You should be able to see the angle that I mean a little bit more clearly from this camera angle. Set 2. Set 3. And the last one. So now I'm going to hit up this one. This is a pullover machine, but like a high pullover. So in the seated version, the one in this gym, I don't really fit in it anymore. And it's sort of lats brush the sides of it while it's in use. So I can't use that, so I use the one where you've got the handles at the top and it pulls in that kind of arcing motion as a pullover. Now, in one of the previous videos, you can see the seated version, the normal one with the elbow pads. The one I'm doing in a back workout, that back termination video, the one filmed in Bodyworks. You can see the seated normal version, but the one in here is really no good for me at this stage. So it's this very unusual machine with the handles at the top that does the same kind of arcing motion, where it particularly works the lats. So you'll see it's a very strange mechanism, this machine. Most of the weight that you're lifting on this one is the machine itself. So all I've added is 25 to each side. And that's, wow, pin going everywhere today. That's more than enough on this machine because the mechanism itself is so heavy. So get strapped in as per usual. This machine is in one of my really early videos, one of the really popular back workout ones. I think it might have been the first back workout that I filmed just over a month ago in here, but we're going a little bit heavier now because things are progressing nicely. Film it from over here and you'll see just how weird the mechanism is I'm talking about. It's just like two strange metal rectangles moving, and that's most of what you're lifting. Now the pin has come out of this damn knee support again. So I get strapped in all over again. I'll do it quicker this time. Well, this is what happens in a real workout, like waiting for things, improvising some exercises that'll be the same motion, dealing with the equipment that you've got. There we go. Set 3. That was not comfy. I swear getting into the seat this time made one of my nuts retract. And the seat pad has gone again. I think in future I'm going to miss this thing out because that seat pad thing is just too annoying. Move on from this one. I'm going to finish up now on back hyperextensions. I've been meaning to put these in a video for ages, but all my previous back workouts have had that much rowing, like barbell rowing or T-bar rowing, that my lower back has just been like, no. But as it was more pull-down stuff and pullover type motions, high rows, just now, I think I can cope with this, so I can actually show you what it's all about. Now, I find it's best to set it up so at the very top of the pads, it's like right on your hips, right at the very, very top of your thigh. Lock your heels in first, lean over, and extend with your back. So I'll do set 1. Then you've got the handles to help get yourself up and out. Obviously you can add to the resistance by holding a weight, like either holding a dumbbell or an iron plate up against your body while you're doing those extensions. But with me having this as my last exercise in the workout and the body weight that I am on this road's 300 pounds, it's quite enough without. So that was 13 reps without, and I'll just knock out a few more sets like this. It's mainly the spinal erectors that this exercise deals with, although if you position this a little bit differently and really concentrate, you can do the kind of way of doing it for your hamstrings and a little bit more your glutes. But I've always found by putting this quite high, so it's right at the top of the thighs on your hip, makes it feel like all lower back, or the spinal erectors as it's known. If I had deadlifts in my routine like I used to years ago, I'd be working a lot of that area of the back anyway. But as I don't, and I really concentrate on the lats, the teres, infraspinatus, the rhomboids, the trapezius, all that mid to upper back stuff in most of the exercises that I pick. It's nice to add this in, not to miss the lower back, just add this in periodically. So that's what I do instead of doing deadlifts. I've always found that for me, I think related to my height, that the deadlifts brings in my glutes like way too much. Isn't really targeted enough on the back muscles that I look to develop for that overall shape. So that's why I don't do the deadlifts, and that's why I have to put this in occasionally to make sure that the lower back is getting something in the whole system with those deadlifts missing. but I don't see this as fundamental as barbell rows and pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, T-bar rows, cable rows, high rows machine, all the stuff that you probably start to get used to from my back workouts on this channel. Set 3. And time for the last set before we wrap it all up. I'll go for my post-workout meal while I edit this and get it online for you. And that's another session done, so I'm pleased with that I was getting extra weight on both the pull downs, the ISO pull down, my hammer strength, that first exercise, and extra weight on the cable rows. I can say that was progression. The load that I'm applying to my poor back. So it's made it another good session, but it's always a good session. I always make sure in one way or another that something progressive is happening, something new, an extra challenge or something different. So those are the highlights for today, I felt, and I'm going to go for the post-workout meal, which at the moment it's got the cream of rice that's birthday cake flavour. So it's kind of so sweet and weird tasting that I can't combine it with any of the savoury. So I like eat the fish first, and then the birthday cake cream of rice is like a dessert almost. So that's what's going on with my peculiar bulking diet right now, and that's what I do while I edit the videos. So by the time this reaches you, I will have had like kind of mashed up baby rice in the flavour of a birthday cake and a couple of fish, which is, it's strange, isn't it? Like bodybuilding, it's not normal behaviour, but I love it. I actually love the process of it, the healthy eating, the hardcore training, everything about it really. Even the competitions I don't really find too stressful. I quite like being on stage, so I'm always living vicariously by prepping other people for contests while I wait it out for a year or so. So that's what's going on as well. I hope you like the video. I'm going to stick with it with loads of these workouts. Subscribe if you want to see kind of everything that I do in my training and more on meal preps and everything like that. And check out the next videos coming up if you missed some of the recent ones. Have a good weekend. Cheers.